Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome, Mr. Kalyan. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for doing one of the episodes of Seasons of AI with us. Mr. Kalyan is the founder and CEO at Miracle, and now he's going to be talking about power of Azure AI, building intelligent applications with cognitive services and AI. Over to you, sir.
Yep. Thanks, Nirmal. Thanks for the introduction. Hey guys, hello everyone. So as I'm Kalyan, I'm the founder and CEO at Miracle. We've been so just to give a brief intro about Miracle. So we are a product studio and we work on a lot of different problem statements ranging from SaaS platforms, data management platforms, and AI services. So it's good to have. I'm not sure that whether everyone can hear me or not. Yeah, but it's good to have everyone on this call. So what we want to do today is that again, it's been quite some time. I get my hands dirty. Fortunate to have a good team who helps me with all the tasks, and I've just been the one guiding them or providing the direction. But this gave me opportunity to just dive into some basic things. I'm sure many of the on the call must have done much more than what I have done. But I will try to cater the session in the more from the uh, how do we approach AI? What is the right way for us to look at a problem with a bit of a business sense and going through some of the pre-built models on there on Azure. Um, so let me get started. I think today let's use this session to talk a bit about what are the different Azure AI services that are available out there. How do we can leverage them? What are some of the use cases that each of those uh, AI pre-built models or some of the Azure AI ML services that can help us in building certain use cases. And let's look at one particular use case. I just prepared a very short short kind of a project, which is very basic, but hope you guys like that. Uh, so yeah, so let me start by presenting my screen. So let's so obviously once we let's log into Azure, we have this menu under our portal. We find Azure AI services. So what Azure AI provides us is that a bunch of pre-trained, pre-built models which we can use. Say typically what happens in most of the cases is that uh, if you need to start from zero, you need to have a lot of training data, good training data. And it's not always easy for us to find good data. And also, we don't know that, let's say we are evaluating a use case, we are even just to evaluate that are we on the right track or uh, will this service will work. So during those, and most of the times, and most of the use cases, the pre-built model should suffice unless and until you are looking for something very specific. So if you see over here, we see that there are a bunch of different models that are out there. Let's say there's one. We know that there is an OpenAI that can solve a bunch of problems, help us with generative AI capabilities. You can leverage this directly from the Azure. We are trying to build an AI search integration into our application. For example, say intent-based search. So, rather than just by keyword-based search. Let's say I want to search by I want to hey I'm hungry and I'm looking for something lightweight or something those kind of things. And powerful computer vision library, and we're gonna look in more of this computer vision library a few minutes later. And face detection APIs if we are trying to build some any KYC based kind of applications, authentication by systems, custom vision. So when custom vision is very helpful when you want to train further fine tune the uh, current computer vision capabilities of the pre-built models. So you can provide your own labeled training data and fine tune the computer vision models. Similarly, we have speech surveys. So let's say we are trying to build a chatbot, which is like speech to text. Sorry, which is like we want to we the a user can provide instructions. For example, they can instead of so instead of traditional interfaces like a click, we want to let's say we want to provide something like, hey, you can interact with the application through speech. So we should be able to provide those capabilities using this service, land-based service, which is like translation, NLP capabilities, document, and so on and so forth. So I'm sure that you guys can go through them and all of them to understand how do we do that. So for this session, let's take a very uh, a top of a example that came into my mind is that typically what we see that if we see that there are a lot of e-commerce websites now, in order for us to see, if you see that for this product to appear under watches, or for let's say you're looking for watches with blue strap, watches which tachometry, are you looking for amino exchange ones? Usually there is a product information management that happens on the back end. And it's usually people that sitting there and cataloging different items under different taxonomies, different tags. Now, why do we need to do that? So don't you can AI assist those catalog managers to perform better? So today we're gonna let's look at trying to create, trying to arrive at tags using Azure AI services. So the problem statement we're gonna pick is that basically given an image, I should be able to generate tags for based on the image recognition. So let's look at how we can go about doing that. So let's say, first of all, will start by creating a new computer vision instance. So which is asked gonna for what kind of subscription we want, what is the resource group, which reason we want to deploy. Let's say name, e-commerce, tags, what is the pricing tag. Obviously, based on that, the limits will vary when we need to acknowledge certain terms. Do we want the model to be available over internet, or we want to be disabled to for only for internal use or something like that? But for the sake of this demo, let's put a all networks. And again, we can put certain identity based controls. For the sake of this demo, we'll skip those. We can tag the resources. Let's review and create. So I already created a one, so I'll stick this step of creating one. So let me go to the computer vision. So I already have created one. Now, once we created a service, two things we need. One, we will need to have the keys and the endpoint. We can come out to this page and we can see that there is a manage keys section. So if we can click on it, so we get back what is the reason, what is the endpoint, and the access keys for us to access the API. So as I said, we're gonna start by let's. So I already have. Uh, so if you look at it, so there is one important information that I want to use. That if you see that there is a product code that is available, so which is like a EIN details. I had gone ahead and already fetched some details based on the EIN number, which there was a image, and I have downloaded that image and put it under a folder called images. So now we are going to use this image since this is the official version, or more like the brand provided image. So which of high quality. Let's use that image. So similarly, uh, for any product, you have this barcode or UAN codes. If there are vendors, there are services that help you to get the more information about that product using the AI and code. Now, so once we have this, let's set up a local Python project. Uh, as I said, for this, for the sake of this, so one, obviously it's a good practice to always use a virtual environment. I have already created a virtual environment for the same. So I'll just show you the command for you to just create that. Python minus. Yeah. So this is the command for us to create a virtual environment. Uh, and once we set the virtual environment, sorry, it's already set it up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let me deactivate the virtual environment first. I'll go ahead and uh, re reopen that. So I gave the AI demo. So then activate. So now we have this virtual environment. The reason what it will help us is that because since Python libraries, different projects use different Python versions, different library versions. And if you don't use virtual environment, let's say you're working on one project and you update libraries on another project, it's gonna impact your other project as well. So in order to just to segregate the versions of the library, better library management, we can have this virtual environment. So now once our virtual environment is activated, any library that we're gonna install or any changes we make to those libraries, that is only gonna impact this particular project and will not impact any other projects. Um, so now we're gonna install. So there's a Python SDK that is available. We go ahead. If we can go to the documentation Azure SDK for Python, and it's gonna tell you how to install it. Mhm. So I'll just pull that command from my history. So if you have Control R, yeah. So the library that is called Azure AI Vision Image Analysis. So for the sake of this demo, we're going to use this model. So once the Azure AI Vision Analysis is integrated, so we're going to go ahead and create a folder Azure called, and I just created a one Python file called generate tags. So in order for us to do image analysis, we need the image analysis lines, and as part of image analysis lines provides a bunch of different features, which are like different models, and what models we want to use can be, let's say today we are using this model called visual feature, and there are other models as well, tag model. So, so once this Python is installed, I'll go back to the Azure AI apps. Um, so there is the, yeah. So today you can see there are different cognitive services that is available, and the cognitive services we're gonna today focus on image analysis. If you look at the image analysis, there are different models that are available: caption result, dense caption result. Each of them has a very specific purpose. For example, if you want to generate a caption, give any image generated as a caption, we can use the caption result. We want to identify the boundary boxes, so we can use tag results. Visual features is something like more of a abstraction over these different kind of models. The reason I say that, if we go back to our code, and if you see that, we mentioned a bunch of features, so which is nothing but tags. So for me, what we are saying is that look at the image, identify the different tags, and the model is pre-trained and it will able to produce different kind of tags that uh, based on the training data that model is developed on. Similarly, it identify different objects. Now, if the reason I said this is an abstraction over different models, because if we just want tags, we have a different, instead of visual features, we should have used the tag model as well, or we would have used a read model, which is like OCR, smart props. If you want to generate a out of a if we want to generate a specific image, we can write different captions. So all these, so for the sake of model, I have selected all these things. So I'll just help you go through the code. As I said, for us to connect, we need to have a key. We need to have the endpoint. We got these endpoint and key from the resource that we have created. Now, once we have both these things, uh, we need to first connect to the image analysis. So there's a inside the library we have image analysis line, which just need to specify the endpoint and the subscription. Once we establish the connection, so we have created a folder under image, and under which we have dropped the image that we are using for this test purpose. So the driver file, we have specified the folder. What it is doing is that it's loading the files from the driver, from whatever the folder we have, and it's calling a function called, hold on, just a second, yeah. It's calling a function called analyze image. Now, if we go look at our analyze image function, which receives a image path, and it reads the file from the folder and pass it to the Azure AI to analyze with the following feature, and returns back the result. Now, once we have the result, we are sending that to print that in a prettier format, uh, which is gonna just go ahead and print the what the model is returning. So I'll just go ahead and run this. So I'm just gonna run the Python generate tags.py. As you can see, it printed that. So the caption that we got generated, a close up of watch. It was able to identify that this is a clock with 99% confidence. Watch, analog watch, strap, fashion accessory. These are some of the tags we got from it. We got the what kind of object it is and the boundary box and the text detected. So based on that, we got additional tags like tachymeter, AX, 65, Armani exchange. So these are some of the other things. Let's say we can easily eliminate this 65 because the confidence is low. Similarly, this 150 is also not so great confidence. So using that, we should be able to identify what are the different tags for our image. Uh, so now once we have the image, so there's an additional step I think I thought of creating. So if you look at this here, typically there is another image which is kind of creating the relativity between the watch and to give a, let's say, comparing that with card size so that the end customer understands what exactly is the size on this. So I tried to create something like this using the AI, but it was not produce a good output. But I think it's a good start to automate that as well. Uh, so I'll just uncomment this function. So I wrote another function called create. So let's not run the results again. I put the output of that in a JSON. So if we look at create size comparison. So what it does is that it identifies the boundaries of the watch, and based on the watch, I wrote some code to identify that if it is so just this the rest of the things are, since the boundary condition today is not able to detect the what is the size of the dial, what are the boundary conditions of the strap. So we just try to assume based on some common sense, uh, and create another image based on that. So now this image should generate. Uh, what we are trying to do is that given this image, can we produce this image? I'll go ahead and run the function once again. So it was complete and it produced another output called watch size comparison. So yeah, so the output is not so great, but it was kind of ability to found the boundary condition for at least the trial. You can see that the 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 length of it is exactly correspond to the boundaries of the watch. The because we do not have the boundary conditions for the strap, which was not able to identify the strap width. And then the thread card was also not so great, but I think that's something that can be easily fixed. Uh, so the reason why I choose this problem is that it's something very relatable. And imagine a scenario. Let's say I'm the a catalog manager and sitting and he got a new product. He just they obviously will have some kind of interface at which he is gonna go ahead and uh, try to create the catalog of this new item. Now imagine a system. Now as soon as an image, he opens that interface, the image runs this pipeline and it pre-populates the a form. I'm assuming there will be some kind of a form. The catalog manager will be like selecting the tags and pre-filling the information. Now, based on the AI encode, based on the image analysis, we pre-populate certain things. Now that's saving time of the catalog manager. Now, let's say yesterday it is taking for him to, let's say, probably 10 minutes to catalog one item. Now probably we might reduce it by 5 minutes. So that's imagine the amount of time and the amount of impact that it can create. Now obviously this is just a very rudimentary model. Now there are different ways that we can do to further enrich this model. For example, as I said, if we look at the output today, we are just getting the one boundary box for watch. It's not able to identify the different stuff. It's not able to identify the color. It's not able to identify the uh, where it's trapped. But still, we can build those things as well. If we have training data, let's say if we have a set of bunch of images where we know the boundary box of the dials, boundary box of the case, the color classification. So we can use the as I said, there is another powerful tool of Azure AI, which is the um, custom vision. What now we have used is computer vision. There is another model called custom vision. We can use the custom vision to create to train our model on our own data set so that we can increase the accuracy of the tags and we can generate more tags which right now might not the model is not trained to produce. So end of the day we should be able to produce a good assistive solution to catalog managers doing this part. I think that covers the most of the things. Uh, Probably we can stop and see that if anyone have questions or any understanding of anything that we want to discuss on this things. Any questions, comments?
Hi, Kalyan. Thank you so much
Hey,
for the awesome session. Uh,
yeah,
uh, Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're done, we can just close this.
okay.
All right.